Hello everyone, in the last video on designing modern roundabouts, we started geometric design on multi-lane roundabouts, and we started out with inscribed circle diameter. I mean this diameter here, inscribed by the outer curve or ICD. We discussed the appropriate size for ICD based on traffic condition and also the environment around the roundabout. In this video, I'm going to go about entry design of multi-lane roundabouts. Alright, we're still at the second part, geometric design, introducing geometric elements, and the references haven't changed any compared to the last video, so they're introducing, and let's just skip them and get to the subject of this video. Alright, what we're seeking is geometry for entry of the multi-lane roundabouts, which is able to control the speed of entering traffic through this deflection here, this horizontal deflection, which is imposed by the position of these 2 points, and at the same time must be able to induce adequate natural paths to avoid path overlap, like this path overlap here. This is actually where it gets more challenging compared to geometric design of single lane roundabouts, because these are competing needs. I mean, speed control normally calls for sharp deflections here, and sharp deflections, especially when it's located close to the yield line, normally cause the inadequate natural path in the path overlap. Let's have a look at this figure here. You see, due to the geometry of this entry, the entering traffic on this lane and also on the adjacent lane on the left would naturally end up on the same lane within the circulatory roadway, which is not desirable, and it has a negative effect both on safety and the capacity of the roundabout. But now, how to fix it? I mean, how to make a balance between these competing needs? Here it's a solution from NCHR Period 4672. You see, you got a sharp curve here, upstream the yield line and the tangent portion. The sharp curve actually controls the entering speed through the deflection, and the tangent portion actually induce adequate natural paths. The tangent portion must be long enough to put the drivers into a direction directly into the right lane within the circulatory roadway, and it must be kept as short as possible, not to fade away the controlling effect of this sharp curve. Also, too long tangent portions are associated with too small entry angles, which is not desirable safety-wise. Let's have a look at it from another perspective. Here, oops, sorry. Here, something wrong with it. And here you got the sharp curve, you see, to control the entering traffic speed, and the tangent portion that put the driver in the correct direction towards the circulatory roadway. And still, it has a good visibility towards the left without having to look over his shoulder. Alright, now let's see how we can get this geometry for the entry of a multi-lane roundabout. First, this refuge here, you see, you need this refuge if you want the trucks to stay in their lane while they're entering the roundabout, which is normally appropriate when the proportion of trucks is more than 5%. And especially it's more than 10%. This is associated with traffic condition B, and this one is associated with traffic condition C based on Ashton green book. Now, suppose you need this refuge here. Well, you get the center line. You draw a line tangential to the center line of the circulated roadway. Where to pick to draw this line from? It's through trial and error. You'll see how to check this in a couple of minutes. Now you got offsets on both sides, normally 2 feet for traffic condition B and 3 feet, sometimes up to 4 feet for traffic condition C. Remember, you will need to verify these values in the final steps when you're checking the widths of different elements of the roundabout to make sure that they're wide enough to accommodate the designed vehicle. All right, having these lines, you develop these curves with the same radius. You pick the radius from this range, 65 feet up to 115 feet. This is from NC Shopping Report 672. And now you need to, and you may want to start with 80 feet if it's an urban area, and 100 feet if it's a rural area. Now you need to check the length of this tangent portion. If it's around 20 feet, it means you've selected the right point for drawing this line. If not, then you will have to change the position at this point until you get this length, around this length for the tangent portion. Suppose you got it. Now you offset this line around 13 feet to the left, and again develop the curve. It's the same radius you applied for these curves between this line and the edge of travel way here, like this one here. Here you are, you got the geometry of your entry, but still remember, you'll need to verify this geometry through performance check of the roundabout and also checking the entry angle of each entry. Now let's suppose you don't need this refuge here. You just ignore this. Let me clean up. You just ignore these lines, and suppose you got this line. Now you offset this line around 13 feet and develop the curve with a radius from the range we just discussed. Now you check this tangent portion, the length of this tangent portion. It should be around, again, 20 feet. And if it's around 20 feet, you've selected the right point. Otherwise, you will have to go through a trial and error procedure to get the right length for this tangent portion. Now you draw the center line curve, and normally in this case the center line curve would end up around the yield line. In this case, you will also need to check the length of this tangent portion, and it should be normally more than 26 feet as a minimum. Let me change the color, and it's desirable for the length of this tangent portion to be in between 40 to 50 feet. If it's shorter than this minimum, then inadequate natural paths will arise, and as a consequence, you will get path overlap here. And if it's too much longer than 50 feet, then controlling the speed for entering traffic and also achieving an appropriate value for entry angle will be challenging. All right, it's done. Thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful. I say goodbye for now.